Hello, my name is Brettt LeSueur, and today is September 10th, 2020, and it's such a special day that my mom could join me today, and I'm sitting here making my Crystal Vision jewelry for the fall. So I'm sitting here making a bracelet for my mom, and so what I've been doing in the way that I'm able to make jewelry is I use these Pyrex glasses down in front of me with these little tags, and the tag that I have in my hand tells me what color it is. So I'm working today with UT orange and a white colored. So in another Pyrex dish I have my symbol for the white color. So the first thing that I do is I take this silver coated wire, and the silver wire comes in a container like this. So I use a measuring tape, and most people that are women, their wrists are anywhere from 6.5 all the way up to 8 inches in length. So I cut this about 10 inches in length, and then I use what I call my Mickey Mouse ears, which are little clips that will hold the wire together. So what I did is I started off with a smaller white ball, and then I alternated orange and white and orange and white and orange and white all the way until I came to the end. So I measured my mother's wrist, and so I've had to add or take away some of the beads on this. So the next thing that I'm going to do is, of course, these are toggles. These are silver toggles, and this is what I have to really practice with, being completely blind, is I'm reaching over into my container to find the container, which is right here. And again, I'm doing all this completely blind, just with my feel, and so I really enjoy making jewelry. So the next thing that I'll do is I'm going to take off the Mickey Mouse ear, and then what I have to do is I have to have, of course, a really steady hand, and I'm going to string this through these. They're called crimps. So I've got the first one done, and I'm going to string the second one. And one of the things that helped me to be able to do this is I really enjoy going trout fishing. So you use, when you go fly fishing, really small flies. So again, I have to be really steady, and I like to use this kind of wire other than the rubber bands, because this is has a lot more string. So I string it through the toggle part, and then I have to go back through both of those crimps. So this takes a lot of handiwork, and this is the part of art about me, other than my singing, that I really like. So I was able to do that, and the part that I'm going to show you next is to use one of my tools. And of course, to do the right job, you have to use the right tools. So I'm using part of my little pliers here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to crimp down on the crimps and the wire, and move that up as close as I can, so I can feel that has been crimped. And then I'll use my little cutter here, and this, of course, is used to cut the silver coated wire. And then I will reach down and I will cut the end off of this, and I can feel, just with the lots and lots of bracelets and necklaces and eyeglass holders that I've made over the years. And I began doing this hobby, and I do it to sell in December of 2014. So I'm going to finish off this bracelet by getting the other part of the bracelet, which I'll reach down in my little container. And of course, you have to be really organized to do this kind of hobby, and you have to have a lot of patience. And you know, if I'm not able to get it strung on the first time, then I use that word determination and confidence a lot. So I'm going to take this little bitty crimp, and we're talking about something that's smaller than a grain of rice, probably half the size of a grain of rice. So I'm going to fit those through the, and sometimes the wire has a tendency to get messed up to where you can't string it very well. So I've got one strung so far, and like I said, sometimes it just takes a lot of patience. And so when I'm making jewelry, I do a lot of praying, and of course I do rehearse singing my Elvis, and it's just a great time that I have to make something beautiful. So I'm still in the process of getting this strung. And of course, you know, we have to have a lot of patience, you know, doing something like this. So I do have it strung, and I know it's really hard to see how small these crimps are, but as my mom takes the video, you can see how small those are. I said it was about half the size of a piece of rice. Actually, it's smaller than that. That's probably 2 millimeters big. And then I string, being blind, through that. So I'll go through the other part of this toggle. And one thing about making this jewelry, that I've made jewelry for women and men all over the world, is, you know, everything I make is totally different. Especially when I make bracelets. I don't really try to make something exactly the same. So when I make something, I want it to be unique. So women have said, Brett, I'd like for you to make me, you know, something purple or whatever. When I go buy the stones, you know, a lot of times I can't buy the same stones again because they don't have that, you know, in the stores that I go buy them. So I'm trying to stretch this on here, and I am going to have to do something that to get this tight. And I do use my teeth, and so I'm going to stretch this. And I'm sure that's not very jewelry-like, but you do what you have to do. So I'm going to use again my pliers. And of course I'm going to cut it off. So the finished product comes out with a UT orange and white bracelet, and I've alternated it other than here at the end, so this will go around my mom's wrist. I appreciate you watching this and all my other videos. May God bless you.